So in this segment, we're going to be discussing Starmer again, kind of pulling back on the kind of new deal for working people. It's being heavily diluted. I think this is down to the amount of business interests that have kind of gotten into the Labour Party in the donation. So no increase in maternity and paternity leave. Paternity leave's already a joke because it's only a couple of weeks. No ban on 0 hours contracts. So they say they are going to ban exploitative 0 hours contracts. But again, how do you define what is and what isn't exploitative? It's a bit ridiculous. No increase in sick pay. Now, the lack of sick pay, as in the amount you get, was one of the reasons why COVID decimated the country so much. It's one of the reasons also why, the lack of allowance for sick leave, but also the lack of sick pay is one of the reasons why infections spread so easily in places like, offices. Because people don't think they can afford to, take sick leave because obviously the money is ridiculously low. I think we have one of the lowest sick leave amounts in Europe comparatively. And so what that means is people don't take sick leave and they infect other people and it creates a domino effect. So why he's doing this, beyond, just it doesn't make sense unless you're looking at business interests. I mean, honestly,
I fail to see the logic here.
it's ridiculous. It's honestly ridiculous. And this is from Sharon Graham, saying that again, Labour again revised the New Deal for working people, has more holes in it than Swiss cheese. The number of caveats and get-outs means it's in danger of becoming a bad boss's charter. And that's off the back of her saying, that she was happy with the unions. Labour and the unions reached an agreement on workers' rights proposals, and that's literally just a few days ago. Compared to this tweet here, about 10 days. And it shows you kind of how duplicitous this man is, that he can do something like this, that he can, come up with a deal with unions and then essentially just put a massive hole in it. There's more here from Gabriel Progrond, who works at the Sunday Times, saying Labour has rebranded its flagship package of workers' rights and employment reforms. The New Deal will be known as Labour's plan to make work pay, which again, compared to a New Deal for workers, is just ridiculously, it sounds off. It doesn't sound like a great plan. To make work pay. I mean, work already pays. Like, make work pay more. I'm not great at sloganeering, but this ain't it. The New Deal for workers just sounds way better. Now, a final document confirms legislative process to start within 100 days of a Labour government rather than be completed within that time frame. So what have they been doing all this time then? In opposition, they could have been cooking up plans for improving workers' rights. Right now, they could have done so. But they chose not to. Instead, they're going to open up a consultation. So all of those things are people saying, Labour are going to do this within the first 100 days. Well, you've been proven once again, your boy's a fraud. Because not only has he diluted it, he's not going to do it within the first 100 days. He's going to do a consultation where no doubt these rights again will be more diluted. This is ridiculous. It says businesses to be consulted fully before legislation is finalised, so you're going to get more dilution, confirms watering down of 0 hour ban, right to switch off to disappear from main branding. So the right to switch off is basically your employer can't, in I think the majority of job roles, your employer won't be able to contact you outside of work hours, which again, the right to switch off and disappear, that's something that they did in France, and I think it's been quite successful in France. It stops your boss or your manager, whoever contacted you outside of work hours. This was first reported in a different paper in the Times, the Sunday Times, kind of linked together. I think those conversations fast-tracked in recent days alongside negotiations with the unions. So they had an agreement with the unions, and they look like they just backed out of it. For the life of me, I can't figure out why, and I really do question, how are people going to spin this? I just don't get it. Their boy, once again, has proved himself to be a complete fraud here. That they promised originally they would do this within the first 100 days. Now we're going to get a consultation. A consultation is something you do when you want to kick something into long grass. If Labour really wanted to do this, they would have had this planned out by now. This is absolutely just so stupid. So stupid. But anyways, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Support the channel on Patreon if you can. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one.